The morning commute could become a bit of a headache for some west of Toronto this morning. Protesters in Hamilton are blocking the tracks as a show of solidarity. This after several people were arrested for demonstrations near Belleville. Our Miranda Anthistle is at Burlington GO station with more. Miranda?
Well, Mike, this is one of several blockades that have been set up in southern Ontario. They just sprung up yesterday. The latest one is in Hamilton. It's on the GO tracks, and yes, it's impacting thousands of commuters. Now, it sprung up yesterday at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, early evening. People there are camped out on the tracks. They were there overnight, well into the morning. They remain there now. They have fires going. They say they've got tunes going, and they're welcoming people. They say the more that come out, the better. Now, on the Facebook page called Wet'suwet'en Strong Hamilton in Solidarity, the latest update says these people were served an injunction by police last night, which was, quote, happily burned. Now, the Facebook post links to the website North Shore Counter Info, which is described as an anarchist and anti-authoritarian news site. The group goes on to say that the blockade has been set up in response to what happened in Tyendinaga. Now, that's just outside of Belleville. It's where yesterday morning the OPP dismantled a blockade that had been up for nearly 3 weeks. Now, a number of people were arrested. The Hamilton Solidarity Group says its intention is to leave its blockade up indefinitely.
We're standing with Wet'suwet'en because we want to get that message across, and it's not just for Indigenous peoples. We are here protecting everyone's future, our children's, people who are residing here currently. This is just the straw that broke the camel's back, We're here to have our voices heard and to say what we can and to do it in a peaceful manner like our elders have taught us. So here we are.
There's also a blockade set up on Highway 6 in Caledonia. That took place yesterday afternoon and it remains there this morning. Now, demonstrators say they support the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs who oppose the construction of a natural gas pipeline through their territory in northern BC. They're also supporting the protesters out in Tyendinaga, as we mentioned, which is just outside of Belleville. Now, I spoke with the OPP out in Caledonia this morning. They say the demonstration has been peaceful. No arrests have been made. Also in Hamilton, we spoke to police there and they say no arrests have been made so far.
Things are obviously much quieter this morning, a bit calmer compared to this time yesterday morning. We're pushed much further back from the tracks here, but you can see a heavy police presence, OPP vehicles even coming up Wyman Road here, and you can see that road closure sign as well as barriers that have now been placed on Wyman Road. They did this yesterday afternoon after the OPP came and raided that protest camp by the Tyendinaga Mohawk members of that community. And so now the railway tracks have been cleared and trains have been chugging along, a good sign for the economy, but the members, the Indigenous community members here, as well as across the country that have been protesting, look at this as a very disappointment advancement by this police force. We know that 10 protesters were arrested yesterday morning. They are facing multiple charges. They've since been released as well. And that's when multiple OPP officers descended on the camp here in Tyendinaga. Members of those that group were camping out since February 6th, standing in solidarity with the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs who want RCMP off their land while they oppose a natural gas pipeline. But what happened here yesterday morning when the police raided this camp and dismantled it has really sparked a ripple effect. We've seen one major protest, at least nearby here in Hamilton, along the GO train tracks that has halted GO trains, especially going towards St. Catharines and to and from Toronto as well. And we spoke to one protester yesterday morning after that raid saying that this was more than just about a pipeline. This has sparked a national protest.
I'm here to show support for our brothers and sisters and support for the Wet'suwet'en people in BC. And it's more than just about pipelines. To me, it's about Indigenous sovereignty and lack of justice that has been shown since the settlers have come to this country in the first place through residential schools.
And speaking of that ripple effect, we referred to one in Hamilton. There's also several protests out west in BC, one at the port of Vancouver that has halted those container ships from coming in. Also one in New Hazelton where 2 hereditary chiefs of the Gitxsan Nation were also arrested, and one at the BC legislature in Victoria. So, Mike, that ripple effect very, very evident this morning.